In today's English lesson, I am going to read a very short story to you, and I am going to read at a moderate pace. And when I'm finished reading today's story, I am going to explain a few of the key vocabulary words and phrases. So I have my notes. I am ready to go. I hope you're ready for some learning and laughter. Let's dive into today's story. Elena returned home late and noticed her front door was unlocked, even though she clearly remembered locking it that morning. Inside, the apartment felt unusually quiet, and a strange note sat on the kitchen table with no name. Her heart began to race, but she reminded herself to stay calm and not jump to conclusions. As she read the note, she realized it mentioned a secret only she and one other person knew. Elena looked toward the hallway, feeling uneasy, and wondered who might be waiting in the next room. So I made this story a little bit suspenseful. I got one comprehension question that I am going to ask you, but before that, let's go over some of the key words in the story. So the first one we see is unlocked. Unlocked. Say that with me. Unlocked. Now, when something is unlocked, it is not closed. It is usually secured with a lock. All right, so you might say he realized that the door was unlocked, or they left to go to work and left the door unlocked. All right, now the next word we see here in the story is unusual. Unusual. When something is unusual, it is not normal. Okay, so my daughter was unusually quiet this evening. So I'm basically saying I'm used to her talking, being active, but it's not normal for her to be so quiet. Was her stomach hurt? Did her boyfriend make her upset? Was she mad at me? All of this behavior was unusual. Let's continue. All right. The next word we see is note. Notice Elena found a strange note. And of course, a note can be something that someone sings. Boy, she sung a high note and sounded very good. But here, in the context of this sentence, a note is a small message. You know, I come from a time before cell phones, and we used to write notes. We would use a piece of paper, a napkin, to leave a message for someone that we wanted to communicate with. Now we just use our phones, but a note is a small message. Okay. Now, the next word that we see here in the story is race. Now, two people can race, cars can race, or race can describe how you are traveling or moving. So to race means to move quickly, to move fastly. All right. So you might say his heart began to race. So it was moving or pumping very quickly. When I heard about the sale at the store, I raced to my car. I moved very quickly. All right. Now, the next phrase we see or sentence, the next word we see that forms a phrase in the sentence is jump to conclusions. Jump to conclusions. And this is a phrase that we use when we say someone is making a judgment very quickly. Okay, someone is making a decision without proper facts. You're jumping to conclusions. You know, I thought that he was a mean guy, but I really jumped to conclusions. Okay. I thought she was a criminal based upon how she was dressed, but in actuality, I jumped to conclusions. Sometimes we say you judge a book by its cover, and that's jumping to conclusions. All right. Now, the last word that we have here in the story is uneasy. She felt uneasy, okay, uncomfortable, nervous, okay. I felt uneasy about taking the test, you might say. Sometimes I feel uneasy when speaking English, you might say. A little uncomfortable. You have to watch more of my lessons and practice more so you don't feel uneasy. So, after reading and listening to today's story, a couple of comprehension questions. What do you think the note said? And who do you think wrote Elena the note? Let me know down in the comments section. Don't worry about being grammatically correct. I just want you to get comfortable at communicating. All right. So, who do you think wrote the letter or the note? And what do you think the note said? Make sure you let me know down in the comments section. That's going to do it for today's quick English lesson. I try to get these in under 10 minutes, and so I think I did a great job. If you know someone trying to improve their English, all I ask is that you share today's lesson with them. If you want some of my longer English lessons, I'm talking about 15, 20, or 30 minutes in length, be sure to check out my playlist below or check out my main channel. There's a link also below. Well, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And as always, I hope your day is filled with rest and prosperity and productivity. Be safe, and I hope you join me on my next English lesson. I hope to see you then.